Alright, it's 3 hours later and I'm still in my pajamas. Today is my day off, but I've been sitting at the computer doing work this whole time. But it's time to get this first loaf in the oven. First loaf with our new sourdough starter, Doughlores, her maiden voyage. I don't have high expectations, okay? When sourdough starters are new, they don't make amazing bread, but it's gonna be fine. So I like to do a little poke test just to see how she's doing. If the top of this dough is really sticky, just put a little flour on it before you do the poke test. You don't need to jam your whole finger down in there, just a very gentle, and I'm looking to see this is very, very slowly filling in. That's what we're looking for. If it feels like it's going to collapse or it doesn't start filling in at all, it's likely overproofed. I'm just gently tipping that out onto some parchment paper here. My pot has been preheating in my oven for about 45 minutes now at 450 degrees. And I'm going to score this. I'm just going to use a serrated knife. I'm going to go in a curve. If you are using a bread lom or a serrated knife, we're not pushing down, okay? You're just going to put the blade on it. We're not using the tip of the blade, we're using the actual blade. And you're going to just quickly pull it across. I'm not pushing down, okay? I'm just dragging across. If I need to go back in, I can and go a little deeper. I go in maybe like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick, pretty far down, okay? I'm gonna pull the hot pot out of the oven now. Okay, I'm using my Lodge Dutch oven. It has obviously been very well used and loved. I've had this for many years. I'm going to very, very carefully drop my loaf down in the pot with the parchment, just kind of nestle it down in there. If you have a really big pan, you could throw a couple ice cubes in here. I'm not going to do that. Carefully put the lid back on, and we're going to bake this covered for about 30 minutes and then uncover it. Time to take the lid off. Time for the reveal. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not too bad. It's actually looking pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go back in for maybe 15 more minutes to get some color. I just pulled it out of the oven. It's really hot. This is kind of the color I go for this lower hydration. If I go a lot higher hydration, I'll usually go a lot darker. But the crust is gonna be thicker on a higher hydration bread, so I don't wanna go too dark with it because once you go higher hydration, it's a lot thinner, so that like really dark crust doesn't like, you know, break your teeth as much. But this is definitely a flatter loaf than the one I made with Millie. Millie is my established starter. I made a loaf with her last week to just kind of show the process, and I can tell that, you know, that rose a lot better because Millie's a very well-established starter. Doughlores is only about 2 weeks old. She's still very young. She's gonna get stronger with time. This is a very good first bake. If you have tried your first bake and you don't think it looks as good, please be patient with yourself. Sourdough takes some time to, your starter is very young and it still needs some time to get stronger. 2, sourdough just takes some time to really get a handle on kind of like what you're looking for in the dough in different parts of the process. This week is going to be really, really, really busy. And next week I'm going to be out of town. So I probably won't share my level 2 sourdough bread until like the first week of November. But I do have a very detailed tutorial of it on YouTube. If you Google Baker Betty understanding sourdough start to finish or something like that. It's like a 30-minute long video and I show you my more advanced recipe and I really talk through all the steps and what you're looking for. So that's a very popular video of mine on YouTube. I think it should help you understand better. I will cut into this later. You don't want to cut into your bread right straight out of the oven. Give it some time to cool and I'll show you all the crumb here in a little bit. It's possible my crumb doesn't look good. So sometimes when you have a brand new starter, sometimes it'll be really, really dense at the bottom and there might be like a big bubble at top. That's just a sign that your starter is still pretty young. So I'll cut into it a little later and see what it looks like and show you guys.